dear grandmother, Babbi Faigy, I immediately thought, what would I say about her? How can I honor her? Can I talk about the incredible, difficult life that she had, the history, the stories that you hear as a child, as a teenager, about the concentration camps and the difficulties in communist Russia? You know, you can. There's just a list of challenges that my grandmother went through. But you know, I'll leave that conversation for the Rebbeim. I want to tell you a little bit about what my Babbi was to me. My Babbi welcomed me with arms and love that felt impossible. Never once did I see her, did she not explode with warmth and glow and brachas. I mean, the brachas just kept coming and coming and coming. She would just give brachas for future and life and children. It was never ending. And as I got older, I actually focused on receiving them. I didn't just say more brachas, you know, as a younger person where you're just trying to move on with your life and try to figure out who you're going to be. You know, you say, oh, here come the brachas. But as I got older and I started talking to her, my father was kind enough to call me regularly to get those brachas. I remember thinking, not long ago, even 2-3 weeks ago, every bracha I took deep. I took it in. I swallowed it. I said, I'm getting a bracha from an exceptional person. And I let her give those brachas to my children as well. Shaya and Shane, we stopped by for a little Hanukkah gathering not too long ago. There was a moment where we were sitting around the table and we made a l'chaim. My father was there, and she had her hands up in the air, and I could feel that she was in such a holy place. And we were at the table, and I actually sensed that this could possibly be the last dinner that I'm having with her. I just remember thinking, I felt like we were on a crescendo of spirituality, and my boys had the pleasure of feeling that experience. And the best part is, so did I. I felt it also. You know, I'm 47 years old, but I feel like an einigel in my grandmother's house. I'm sitting there with my father, who, you know, thank God, is also feels like a son in his mother's house. And you know, age never changes when you have those generations. You still feel like a baby in your grandmother's house. And we're all sitting there, and I'm realizing I have my own children, and there's a little moment there. And you say, what a bracha it is to be sitting there. And I feel so grateful that even though Babbi had such challenges in her life, I mean, you can write volumes about it, I never felt any of that. I was never exposed to any of that pain. I received nothing but warmth and love and positivity. She was exploding with positivity. It was truly extraordinary. It seemed as if it was a story of a woman who suffered, and then there was the story of the grandchild that ate the most perfect eggs that anyone has ever tasted. I still think about how much influence she had on the most simple things in my life. You know, I spend my days thinking about people, hospitality, and food. And many times I think about sitting in that kitchen and what a difference it is when somebody decides to take the extra step, like she did for me as a child, as an adult even. A little salt goes a long way, you know, and there was just so much hospitality. You can eat the love that she was putting in. It was the only way to embody it. I mean, you can't swallow a human being, you know, but it was just, that's the biggest memory for me. just the pure love and warmth that she gave me and my family, and it was reflected cleanly with my father and my uncle and my aunt, the way they took care of her. I felt, even though she struggled in the later years, I also felt how blessed my father was to be able to take care of his mother, and my uncle was able to take care of his mother. What a great privilege that must have been. It's a wonderful way to repay a lifetime of love, and I acknowledge that while it was happening. And I'd like to acknowledge it now in front of all of you that it's a great blessing. This incredible family bond to take care of each other, and see, so it's not all suffering. There's a lot of beauty there and a lot of strength as well. My Babbi was a survivor, and I'm the product of that survival, and so are my children. And I'm proud to say that we have children in the yeshiva. It's 4 generations away. There's still a Yiddishkeit in the household, and it's a wonderful tradition to pass on. And when you see 4 generations sitting at a table, it all comes to light, and you know something special is going on here. My grandmother was a very, very special, warm, loving woman, and I just want to emphasize that I never sensed any of that difficulty that she embodied, that she had to deal with in her life. I only received positivity, love, and that's it. And that's how I will remember her, and I'm sure my brothers will as well.